Reading through chapter 5, I really enjoyed it because, not only did it appeal to me as a teacher, future teacher, but also, it really connected with me and my attention span. And so, and I also just, I thought it was hilarious with the elephant reference the whole way through. Um, and it was interesting because I enjoy psychology. But so right off the bat, it explains the elephant and the rider, and explains the rider as being conscious thought, and the elephant as being, just go with it, whatever feels comfortable, whatever's pleasurable, and everything. And immediately thought, I was like, well, that's why diets fail. And especially when I try and diet, that's why I fail because, my brain is telling me, no, that's bad for you. Don't eat it. I know exactly why I shouldn't eat it. But then the elephant takes over and is like, but that cookie there, eat it. So I'm like, but I'm getting better at taming the elephant. So that's really what first came to mind there. And then on the next page it says the elephant is bigger and stronger than the rider. And obviously, I know that feeling there because you can just sometimes you just can't control it. And then I think that's a good reference for young learners, like first and second graders and kindergartners, because their elephant is so wild, so untrained. And so on the next page it says, if the elephant isn't engaged, the learner is going to have a hell of a time paying attention. That is true for obviously anyone because this book is written for corporate level adults, but children, I think that is that quote times a million because they have a shorter attention span and they are easily distracted. And so if their elephant isn't engaged, then they're definitely not going to learn anything. On the next page, it says if they're having to force themselves to pay attention, there's a limit to how long you're going to be able to do so. Again, this is exceedingly so with younger learners. They only have so much attention, and if they're having to personally force themselves to pay attention, like they're like having to force themselves to read this book or force themselves to learn spelling words or whatever, sight words, it's going to be a lot harder for them to have that personal pushing themselves than it is having a teacher push them along, which can also be more difficult for them learning if they have to push themselves. On to the next few pages, it's talking about good strategies to attract and engage the elephant so you can really engage the learner. And it says give them real achievements, and I think this is uber important for anyone, anywhere, especially students, because I know in past and a lot during my general education classes in college, I was like, why am I learning this? I'm not going to be a geology teacher. I'm not going to be, any of these other general education classes. I'm not going to teach that. Why do I have to learn it? And so I was, but it's connecting it to real life and giving them a why they have to learn this. Younger students don't realize, learning these sight words is going to teach you to learn sentences and read books and read everything throughout your life. Learning to add is going to add on to multiplication and then algebra, and they don't realize how big of a stepping stone it is. And I think giving it connections and even making it fun, be like, when you are able to read sight words and you're able to read sentences, you can read comic books or you can read fairy tales, whatever appeals to them. I think that's a good connection for them to keep the motivation and keep them interested. Quite a few pages along, we go to page 141, and it's talking about unexpected rewards. And I think this was really good. There's a quote saying, people have a much stronger response to unexpected rewards than the ones that they know they are coming. I definitely think that's true. At work, we have a contest. I'm a waitress, and if we sell food or so much of one food, or however, whatever the contest is that night, we get a prize of free food. And so, I mean, unexpectedly getting that is so much better than if you know how much items you have sold versus how much someone else has sold and you know you've won. I just feel like unexpected things are better. And so using that in the classroom, so just reminding them to be good, be good, be good, and then at the end being like, well, you guys were so good, so here's a prize, or this and that. I think that's a good way to keep them motivated, because in the back of their mind they'll be like, oh, well, we were so good yesterday that I think we can do um again today and get another prize, hopefully. And this last little bit on 146, it talks about collaboration and how it helps with social influences and getting the elephant involved, because it requires negotiation, support, social obligations, and things like that. And I think that's something that really should be started young, because, like it says, one, it trains the elephant, but it helps students learn how to work together. So that's what I got out of this chapter.